Morning folks, gonna skim a ceiling in a little shed this morning. It's all boarded, insulated, tapes all the joints up, so ready to get a mix on. Nice little shed, makes a nice change from being inside. Well, it is inside, but inside and outside. I'm going to mix this one up. Just going to do old school. I can't bother to get my mixer wired up and ready. It's an extra thing to do. I'm just going to knock this one up by hand. Easy to see with the mixer, but it's good every now and then when the small job like it, just to get the old stick out and do it old school, not relying on any power tools, basic plastering materials, just horse and trowel and a brush, bit of water. That's going to do this job. Clean that up. There we go. Always clean your tools off. Right, so that way, here we go. Right, so you can see that. So bit of water on your tools. How do you take plaster from your hawk without dropping it everywhere? Like that. So you basically get your trowel in position, rotate everything round so your trowel's level, and then scrape your hawk down. Don't try and lift plaster from your hawk, you will fail. It will end up all over the floor. So in position, rotate, scrape. Now you've got your plaster on your trowel. Drop it back on, scrape back on the edge, push it in the middle. Give it a shake. Shaking your plaster means it's flat. When it's flat, it's not going anywhere. It's stuck to your hawk. And you can take as much or as little of that as you like. You could literally tip it up. Just skim the top, but again, make sure you cut, get a nice clean cut on your trowel. Okay. If you get it close to your trowel, less chance of dropping that as well. Keep it in the middle of your hawk all the time. Right, let's give this ceiling a skim. We'll start in this corner. Bit of a weird angle, but we're going to go up from there. Push up and rotate. Nice upward strokes. Closing the trowel as you push your strokes. Just put a fistful of plaster on and then load up, just like I showed you, in position. Roll the trowel close as you pull back. Quick tidy up of the overlap and leave it. Now I'm going to come down from this edge, right up into that edge and pull. A little bit left, if you can see what I'm doing. Pull in from your edges, down from that ceiling edge. Right into that corner, right into the edges. I'm not too bothered about getting too close because I am gonna finish that off with some timber. Close to that edge. Key thing is when you're skimming, just get your first coat on. Don't worry too much about what it looks like. There, pull up. Smooth off pushing down. Got a bit of that. Same again. Load up, pull up, down, back up. Just lifting your trowel. So as you see what I'm doing now. I'll shift my phone around a little bit. There we go. So when you're spreading plaster is probably the most difficult thing and important thing to learn. So you start with an open trowel, compress your plaster, and then as you pull back, you're rolling your trowel closed. Close, close, close. If you're not closing your trowel as you pull back, you're not spreading your plaster. And then just nip that edge in to finish. Quick, flatten off sideways. And that'll do. Remember your plaster, as soon as you start adding plaster to water, the clock is ticking for that plaster to go off. So you can't hang about with it. It is one trade that you cannot decide to stop and have a break. You have to keep going. Once that mix is on, you are committed to getting it where it belongs and finished to a good standard where you can leave it for polishing. And again, down from the ceiling. Not too bothered about getting right up against the edge because you're not going to see any of that. I'm going to finish off with some nice old beams to make it look like it's an old rusty shed or house, whatever. I'll just show this a little bit and then I'll switch off. It's quite a wet mix because I'm sticking to that procedure of collecting my plaster properly. I'm not throwing it all over the floor. I've not spilled a drop yet. I'm not saying I never spill drops. Everybody spills. It's not a massive deal if you do. It's just extra work to do. And who needs extra work? Customer likes it. The customer does like a tidy plasterer. So I'm just finishing off. Just about got the first coat on. Just got a little bit more to do down here. Yeah. So again, just spreading up into what you've done. When you're skimming, always work from top to bottom. So I've got that top bit done first, and I'm just left with this bottom bit, so I'm pushing into what I've done, which is really important when you're skimming. So starting from there, nice and steady, push up, again rolling that trowel closed, in from the edge, rolling the trowel closed, quick tidy up, just a nice light trowel, just to take out the major high spots. I mean, no rush with this, no rush whatsoever with this job. The area is covered with one coat, and all I'll do now, I'll wait for that to go off a little bit. I'll probably bob another quick coat on just to make sure. A little bit up there I've noticed. You get low down, you can see your edges a lot better. That's better, I've got tight up against that edge now. I'm not worried about that back edge because I'm just going to have a trim on it anyway. Nice piece of timber to make it look rustic. Sound. First coat on, happy days. Right, back again. So we've got us 2 coats on. Just waiting for it to go off a little bit now. I'm going to give it probably 5 minutes. Add enough plaster as well to do a little job that needed doing in kitchen. Had a leak in kitchen ceiling last year. I didn't have time to do it, so I thought I'd kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Only a little small thing up there. I just needed a quick lick of skim covering it, so that's another job. That'll do, mate. That one out of the way. Lovely day today. Beautiful day, look at that. This day of spring. Gorgeous day. So we'll start troweling this one up. Why not? Yeah, we'll start troweling, take out some of these lines. So this next stage, this is everybody's favourite stage. We're in front of what we've been doing. Now we need to know. I like to use a spray gun. If I'm in front of it, I'll use a spray gun. If I'm behind, I'll use a brush. Can't see very well when I put it down. Not an ideal spot like that thing to use, but it is what it is. So a little bit of water, and then, yeah, not too much pressure because it's still a little bit on the wet side, but I'd rather trowel up a little bit early than a little bit late. It means you just lighten your stroke a little bit. Don't put as much pressure on, so we're not dragging everything back off again. When you're tackling bigger areas, it's always a battle against your plaster. Trying to stay in front of your plaster is really important. As soon as you get a bad skim, your plaster goes off quicker than you expect, you know about it. It's work. Little jobs like this. Absolute pleasure to do compared to big jobs. Can hear pigeons above me in trees, flapping about. You see? Getting a bit far ahead, let's shift it round a bit. There we go. I've actually gone down onto the board, which is a bit naughty, no doubt. We'll get a few comments on that, but I have taped it up. End of day. It's a nice shed. If it blows, I'm not bothered. I have taped it so it shouldn't go anywhere. All I'll do is cover it up with some nice beams to make it look rustic. So just starting from the edges, nice big pulls. not too much pressure, because it's still nice and wet. A bit of the scraps there. There we go. While I'm here, I might as well do this bit. So this is setting up for the final stage, which is a polish. So I'll probably go over this twice maybe, and I'm going to be polishing it just at the right time. Just as it starts to change colour and change colour to a darker shade, that's when I like to polish. Don't be polishing too late, makes it very difficult. You don't want to over polish as well. So many people making it really shiny, and all it does, it makes it really difficult to decorate. So why make it really shiny and difficult to decorate when you could just polish it just right with not too much work involved? Which makes much more sense to me. Right, see you in the next bit. Coming up to the final stages now. That set me hat off for my hoodie. Had a bit of a sweat on, and it's not looking too bad. Now I'm doing something that's completely a big no-no in plastering. I'm basically filling gaps without taping, and I'm filling gaps on plyboard. Not allowed to do that. I'm going to get some stick for that. But yeah, I've got a bit of plaster left. I'm just chucking, you know, I'm just chucking bits of plaster in these joints. I know it's going to crack, and I know, like I said, it's a big no-no, you shouldn't be doing that. But I've got a bit of plaster left over, and then I'm just brushing it in. There we are. I'm just giving it a little brush. Chances are it'll crack, but who cares? It's my shed. Do what I want. It does look better. The gaps are filled. Like I said, they'll probably come back and crack. I'm just going to coat it all with paint anyway, and I'll probably bob some decorative timbers just to keep it looking rustic. Gonna be a nice little room. Stick a wood burner down there, and I can live here. So I've given this ceiling a good hour to firm up a little bit. Now I'm going to finish it. I'm going to give it a light brush and trowel. Brush, trowel, firm pressure, nice and slow, no rush. You don't want to put tiger stripes in it at this stage. You flick your trowel, there's a good chance that your trowel will bounce on the surface. I'm sure every plastering country's done it. You have to keep your trowel purposely slow at this stage, with pressure, trowel it out any high spots. No rush with this one. All the hard work's been done. And it's always good to get to this point, so you know that this is the final stage. And then we can leave it to decorate. So, quite a few stages to think about when you're skimming. You've got your first coat. Just get your first coat on Don't worry too much about what it looks like. Certainly don't over trowel it. I think most beginner plasterers, the biggest mistake is to try and make it look too good too early. You can't do it. You cannot trowel wet plaster. You've got to go through the stages. First coat on, leave a few lines, roughly 2mm. Second coat on, press it. I like to press my second coat a little bit firmer. I always put more pressure on because I don't want another 2mm. I just want to fine tune my first coat with a second. So I usually put my second coat on about 1 mil overall thickness, 3-ish. And then obviously when you start troweling up, you allow it to go off first, allow it to firm up, then you're not dragging it back off. Again, don't be too eager to trowel up too early. I know we all want that nice finish, but you've got to go through the stages. You've got to go through the stages of application stage. Don't worry about it too much. Second coat, get it on. Then we can start thinking about making it look good. Once you've got your application stages out of the way, then you can think about making it look good and finished. So you trowel up first stage, take out the high spots, take out the lines, firm pressure, depending on how dry your plaster is. And then you've got your final polishing stage. You could let it fully harden up, which is what a lot of plasterers do, fully harden up and then go over it again to make it shiny. Totally up to you. Makes it more difficult to paint, definitely. It looks good, looks impressive. Whether it's worthwhile doing that stage is completely up to you. I make sure that it's polished and finished properly. I certainly don't make it really shiny. But we're all different. This one. This light's not ideal, but it is what it is. It's serving the purpose of a light. So there.